it's really hard to get people to kind of understand the limitations. I think that people like to romanticize indigeneity and like to think that we all just run around in our regalia, we offer songs, and we live in this euphoria place. Unfortunately, we're real people and we are not invisible and we're still here. And so I would say, if you think about your impact every day as a human being, because that's what we are first, we're all human beings, and our first thing is to survive. And what we need to survive comes from our Mother Earth. She gives us everything that we need: food, medicine, shelter, for us to survive. And we just have to learn how to harmonize with that. We need to understand how to take and how to give back. And as Indigenous people, we learn that from generation to generation. There's stories of how to take care of these medicines that are outside of our door, or these shelters that we need in order to survive, and even to call in these animal spirits that we need, unfortunately. So it's a biosphere, and we all need to rely on each other. And so I think that what we as guests now need to understand is our impact. I think that one genocide that I say, because we suffered 3 cultural genocides here in California. The first was the Mission era. The second was the Rancho period, which was the Spanish Mexican, or the Mexican American War. And then finally the Gold Rush. And all 3 of those contributed to the loss of culture of the land here, and actually took us outside of our land and gave us this detachment where now we are no longer part of the land. And we as Indigenous people never understood land ownership or what that meant, because we always knew it was borrowed from the next generation. So when all of these genocides came through and separated us from the land, now we have a different dependency. Now we are following a different way of life, but as Indigenous people, we adapt. We adapt to our surroundings and to these changes. And now I say that we're suffering from our 4th genocide, which is plastic. Plastic is coming through and sweeping our oceans, and it's taking away from our people. And that's something that even now during the pandemic is at an all-time sky rate because of the things being delivered to our homes. And I think that it's important that we understand our impact that we're making into our environment, because as Indigenous people, when you think of these great societies, you don't think of, well, great societies are measured in like pyramids and all of these great castles that have been left behind. But our people had a way of living in so much harmony with the environment that everything that we created was biodegradable. Everything was reused and repurposed in such a meaningful way that we had no waste. Everything went to great use, and we had no reason to have trash. And I think that that marks a great society, because we're able to live and sustain like that for hundreds of thousands of years. And so I would hope people would kind of understand the impact that we have every day and the influence that we have on the people around us. And I think that that's the number one thing that I connect to kids and that I connect to the outside communities, is that we're all responsible for taking care of this planet for the next generation, and we all have a part to play in it. And if we all just take responsibility, I think that it makes it a lot better. So I hope I answered that question in a very roundabout way.